morning. It's very early in the morning and I'm hungry. It's breakfast time. Today I'm on my way to a onigiri shop called Iseya, which is still pretty local. As far as I'm aware, they don't have any stores outside of the Kanto area. The one closest to me, here in Nerima, is actually their flagship store. So I'm gonna have to check it out. As I said, while Iseya is not like super local, they are very limited in size and in stores. So they do have a few stores here in Tokyo and up in Saitama, but as far as I'm aware, they do not have any stores outside of the Kanto area. So that means it's still fresh, it's still handmade, and I expect it will still taste delicious. In any case, I expect it to be better than any like convenience store onigiri or something like that. And it feels good to not run to the convenience store any second, but get something good into your body, into your system, do something for the local community, and invest your money elsewhere. We are outside and I found a nice spot for a review. This park is pretty much abandoned. It is way too hot right now in Japan, and I can imagine most people don't want to leave their nice air-conditioned homes, but that's even better for me, so I can shoot this review without any disturbance. I am here with my nice onigiri and my mame daifuku from Iseya. And I want to dive straight into this review because I am hungry, I'm starving. I think I will start with the shake one. That's right, the salmon one. Here it is in action, nice chunk of salmon on there. Nice presentation. Does look like the classic manga and the anime onigiri rice ball situation, right? It is a little bit smaller than my fist, a little bit smaller, I would say, than a onigiri from the convenience store. However, it is pretty hefty in volume. It weighs a lot. I would say around 200 to 300 grams. And I am very excited to take the first bite. Here we go. The taste is good. I like the taste. You can see the salmon in there. It is pretty salty, which is good for me as a European. I do love salty and savory foods. Yeah, I pretty much like it. I think the salt in it, together with the vinegar, makes for a very rich taste. Might even be a little bit too salty. However, for taste, I would give this 4 out of 5 points. For anyone who's looking for that more classic onigiri taste, which is a little bit more bland and leaves more room for interpretation, a little bit airier, maybe that would not be the rice ball of your choice. Texture also great. The salmon is firm. You get a good bite in it. The rice ball doesn't fall apart like a lot of other rice balls do. I had no problem whatsoever carrying the rice balls, the onigiri, home and carrying them from home to this location. So for texture, I would say 5 out of 5 points. Last big bite. Tastes good. but it is pretty salty after all, so I might have to deduct some points in that department. A 3.5 out of 5. That seems more appropriate. As for value, I would say an onigiri from Iseya sets you back around 160 to 170 yen. That's a fair price. That's around the price you would pay in a convenience store these days. And I think for a local sourced and handcrafted food, that's a very good price. You would pay more at other onigiri stores. 5 out of 5 possible points for price. As for fun, onigiri isn't really made to be an experience and to be really fun to eat, so it's hard to rate this department. However, the presentation I found was really good. It was a more round rice bowl instead of the convenience store ones, which are more like a triangle shape. Yeah, they had the onigiri going around the rice bowl instead of wrapping around it. So it's also beautiful for the eye, something to look at. For that, I would say 5 out of 5 possible points for fun. Next one, karaage. Here we go. Look at this big chunk of fried chicken on the onigiri. Doesn't it look tasty? Again, having the onigiri, having the nori wrap around the onigiri, it's looking delicious. It's beautiful to look at. Smells really good too. Smells like there's some soy sauce in there. Might be again a little bit salty. I'm very excited to try this. Let's go. This one tastes even better than the salmon one. The chicken is juicy. You get a lot of taste out of it. It's a perfect contrast to the little bit bland rice bowl. But that's what it is with onigiri, essentially. The Japanese are not too big on spices, so onigiri is kind of a more relaxed food, which isn't overloading your taste buds too much. So yeah, this is perfect for anyone who's looking for something a little bit more heftier, a little bit more tasteful than the classic onigiri. The chicken is also very tender. It's very easy to eat this, even one-handed. It's a perfect size to eat one-handed, eat while you're in a rush. And I think for 160, 170 yen, it's just the perfect finger food. Taste, 5 out of 5. Texture, 5 out of 5. Price, straight 5 out of 5. Fun, also 5 out of 5. This is a perfect 20 points out of 20 possible points. This is the best one on this channel so far. And some dessert from Iseya. As I've said, they are not really that big for their onigiris, but they are more famous on social media for their Japanese sweets, their wagashi, and that's why I got me a mame daifuku for dessert. Mame meaning beans, and daifuku essentially being a Japanese rice cake, a mochi. It is pretty heavy. Again, it's a little bit smaller. It is actually fist size. It might be bigger than the onigiri. It has also the same weight, the same heft as the onigiri. It is pretty heavy, and I mean, it looks delightful. It looks delicious. I'm very excited to get the first bite in it. The beans, the black beans popping in your mouth. And you also have a good chunk of anko in there, sweet bean paste. But really the beans, the black beans, the whole beans in there, they make for a really nice experience when eating this. You have the mochi mochi, you have this, your classic Japanese rice cake. But inside of this, like chewy rice cake, you have those hard black beans which really pop in your mouth and give you some texture to chew on. This is very fun to eat. I love this. The sweet bean paste, also pretty good. Not too overpowering, not too much sugar in there. This one tastes a lot more nimble than the onigiri. It doesn't have as many spices or sugar in there. It is a really balanced taste, nothing too overpowered. This is pretty darn good. Last bite. Taste is 5 out of 5. It's very balanced. Not too much sugar in there. It tastes really Japanese. For texture, I would say it's a 4 out of 5. But that's somehow just a me thing. While I do like Japanese rice cakes, mochi, and I have gotten used to them in the past couple of years, it's still not my favorite type of sweets. There's some stuff out there that I enjoy a little bit more. I enjoy having a little bit more of a punch while eating, more sugar in there, more tastes in there. But I get where they are coming from. As for price, one daifuku set me back 150 yen, so it's even cheaper than the onigiri. Can't say nothing about that. Most of the daifuku are even more expensive, in the 180 yen to 200 yen range. Fun. It was a fun experience eating this daifuku. The textures were really balanced. Nothing was too overpowering. I had a lot of fun with the little whole black beans sprinkled in there. Make this chewy experience a little bit more exciting. However, my hands are pretty dirty after this. That's just a daifuku thing. I don't want to be too nitpicky. Might deduct half a point for this. Since it's really no big deal to wash your hands after eating. Yeah, so overall, we're at 18.5 out of 20 possible points, which is a very good score for Japanese sweets. And with that, I'm out. I'm off to wash my hands. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. See ya. When I was shooting some footage in the park earlier, I just got annihilated by mosquitoes. Just one of the challenging aspects of summer in Japan. You know, the temperatures are also pretty bad. I mean, it's hot, but I can deal with hot weather just fine. It's hot in Europe as well. But the humidity is just killing me, man. It's pretty gnarly. I mean, to be fair, I'm getting better at dealing with this weather year by year. I've been here for several years now, and I'm definitely getting better at dealing with the hot summer. However, still, the first days of summer, the first very hot days over 35 degrees, always a challenge, always hitting me hard. And there's definitely some other stuff as well, you know, Japanese people really having no chill. When the first sun rays come out, they all get out of their cozy apartments into the parks. They flood the parks and public spaces. I mean, I'm gifted in that I have my days off on a Thursday and Friday. So it's not too bad on weekdays essentially. But going out on weekends with good weather, it's like impossible, especially here in Tokyo, the busiest city in the world. I definitely understand why a lot of younger people doing the U-turn thing and going back into their hometowns after living a few years here in Tokyo. It can be pretty damn challenging living with so many people on just so much space. I mean, for me personally, I've enjoyed Tokyo up until now. But you know, when you get older, you're thinking about having kids. Tokyo is the perfect city for a young couple, you know, two people living together, enjoying their lives together. But when kids come into play, I'm not too sure if this is really the right environment to bring up my kids. No matter how much I love the city, it's getting harder and harder to ignore those negative side of things. But anyway, that's about it. Thanks for hanging out and enjoying breakfast with me. I hope you're having a fantastic day as well, and I hope to catch you in the next video. See ya!